Hey, Facebook, good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. I apologize for Friday and yesterday. We did not get on to do a live. Friday I was out of town, and yesterday, man, I was just busy doing a house. We're actually doing a tranchless system inside a house right now, so we were completely occupied all day by that job, and I did not have a chance to get on and do a live. I hope you had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully you had some time to reflect on those heroes of the past and those people who have passed on, who have given us the way of life here in America. I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud to be here in Wyoming. I'm grateful to have an opportunity to not only live here, but to be able to have success and have my own plumbing business. And it's because we live in this great land of opportunity. And so I'm grateful for that. Can a yearly inspection catch problems? You'll be getting that right here shortly. First of all, if you're watching this on Facebook and you're watching this live, type live. If you're watching this on replay, type replay. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. Ding the little bell. You'll get notifications every time we come on live. I promise you're going to get a wealth of knowledge here. We're going to be starting another school here next week. I'm excited again. This is something I look forward to every time now. Just a school on water softeners and water heaters for plumbers. If you are a plumber and you're interested in something like that, contact CF, the plumbing sales coach, and get with him and his guys. They'll get you signed up. We plan on doing these a lot more, but I'm excited because the first one went with success, and I'm excited for the second one to see if it happens with success. Can a yearly inspection catch problems? And yes, it can, and we're going to go right into that here. I want to just tell you, first of all, a yearly inspection is something that we offer our customers. If you join our service agreement, or our Gold Leaf Club as we call it, you have the opportunity to have that yearly inspection done yearly by us, where we come in, we check out your water heaters, we check your valves, we check everything in your home that's plumbing oriented, and we give you an assessment of what needs to be taken care of. I can tell you right now, for a fact, inspections will catch problems before they happen. Case in point, I want to show you something that we found on a water heater that saved them from having issues. Now, the call was that they were having issues with hot water. They weren't getting enough hot water. And so they went out to the garage and they found this water heater leaking from the bottom. Well, this water heater, if it would have had a yearly inspection, would have caught that this right here, if you can see that, was starting to take place. And what happened is it was shorting out and it started to melt not only the insulation, but the insulation off the wiring. And this was actually causing a short to where it wasn't kicking on that bottom element. And so what happens is when your power comes into the water heater on this electric water heater, when your power comes in, it comes into the top. And then it transfers from the top thermostat. That's what this piece right here is called, a thermostat. And it goes down and it relays hot water to the bottom here. Now, the hot water wasn't working. They weren't getting hot water long enough. It was intermittent. Well, the reason it was intermittent is because the hot water on the top was getting heated, but down on the bottom wasn't. So by the time they ran the water for 5-10 minutes, only that top 20% had been heated by this top element, but it actually had started to catch on fire. And that can be a serious issue with electric water heaters. Once that starts happening, you need to replace the water heater. You got a serious short taking place in your wiring. And this could have led to a fire. Luckily, we caught it before it did. But I have seen these catch on fire. Now, we get this... Sorry about that. I forgot to turn off the notifications. We get this question a lot. Lance, what do I need to do? How do I change the temperature on my water heater on a tank style electric water heater? Now, on a gas valve, you just go over and you turn it up from the letter A to letter B or whatever it is. Really, if you're starting to get your hot water heater to where it's not sufficiently heating on the level that it's at, you either need a flush, number one, or you need a new water heater. Or if it's electric, you could need a new element or a new thermostat. That could mean that you're not getting any hot water. It means that you got an issue going on that's deeper than just the problem with the water heater. But I want to show you here. You would change that temperature right here. Now, every one of these water heaters comes set at 120. So it would actually be set over here at 120. And the reason is when it's at 120, it's on a non-scald. Now, down here, you'll see that it's already set at 120. When you set an electric water heater, you have to set both the top element and the bottom element the same temperature. And the reason is you want it to heat equally. The way it works is when the water comes in, that first element turns on to heat the upper 20. Once that upper 20 is heated, it'll send a message down to, or sends a signal down to the thermostat down on the bottom, which kicks on that element and allows the bottom 80% to heat up. Once that's on, then the bottom's doing most of the work, because the dip tube, which I'll show you right here, is where the cold water comes in. This is a different one. You can see the cold water comes in and it drops it down at the bottom of the water heater. The same thing applies here. It drops down the bottom water heater. So that bottom element is actually going to be doing probably about 90% of the work. So if you're getting intermittent hot water, you got something else going on that could be an issue. Don't change your temperature. More than likely, you either have an element that's having issues, or a thermostat that's having issues, or your bottom element is caked in buildup. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, that right there is buildup, okay? And what happens is if you don't have a water softener, that hardness eventually builds up in the bottom, and that can actually cover that bottom element. I've seen it happen more than once, where that bottom element gets covered by sediment on the bottom of the tank, and because it's got that sediment on the bottom of the tank, it can't get rid of it, and it's just basically covering that bottom element. So basically, if you're getting intermittent hot water, you either got an issue with that bottom element, or it's covered in crud. Now, the yearly inspection, we do a yearly flush on regular tank water heaters as part of the Gold Leaf Club, and so that's to eliminate any of that sediment from building up. Now, they've tried really hard in the newer models to produce what they call a multi-hole. And you'll see it right here. You'll see that there's holes on the bottom of that one. And what it does is it actually sprays the water differently inside the bottom to mix up that sediment to where it's not sticking on the bottom. And on that yearly flush, if you've got that going on, you turn on that valve on the bottom and you open that drain valve and you leave the water on, that water is going to actually flush all that sediment out that drain valve. So that's the point of doing a yearly inspection. That's the benefit of doing a yearly inspection. Not only are we checking your water heaters for damage, such as what I showed you there, we're also checking your water heaters for any type of malfunction. We'll also check any of the appliances in the home. We can check your toilets. We'll check your valves. We'll check if you have a water softener, we'll check that. We'll test the hardness of the water, make sure that it's still working properly, make sure it's set right. These are all things that we can be caught in a yearly inspection, which in the long run saves you money as the homeowner. If you're not getting yearly inspections done, you're not getting yearly water heaters done, give us a call, get on our Gold Leaf Club. Yeah, there's a lot more benefits to it. We can tell it to you over the phone. It's really cheap. It's like $17 a month. And it really, all it does is give you a peace of mind and knowing that your water heater, your softening system, whatever it is that you got in your home, is being maintained and properly taken care of. Folks, have a wonderful Wednesday. We'll catch you tomorrow.